Hi, my name is Forrest Adair, and today's project is a bird feeder. If you like birds in your yard singing and making all them wonderful sounds, and you have already built a birdhouse, it's time for a bird feeder. No better way to bring the birds to your yard than to feed them. With today's plans, the bird feeder will consist of wood from a pallet, boards, or maybe a fence board, cedar, pine, anything pretty much will do. The plans are all marked with according measurements and how much you're going to need in the way of board foot. This bird feeder can be mounted to a pole, could be mounted to a tree, could be mounted even to possibly the side of the house, but I wouldn't recommend it. So just like we said the other day when we built the birdhouse, I'll have a set of plans down here, and don't forget to subscribe, please. It helps me to know if anybody's really listening to me or if it's just the two grandchildren that I have. For our tools, there's many options. One is power tools, which I'm going to use today. The other one is if you don't have power tools, you could always use a saw, a circular saw that's electric. You also can use a hammer and nails. Wood glue always works. And to make those screws go in easier, sometimes even a power drill would work. You'll also need a square, a way to make right angle cuts, and you're going to need some manner or some way to make a half circle. So, let's get started. Well, now we're ready. We've got our board marked. Again, I used a fence board, cedar, that's 5/8 and 6 foot long. So I've got it marked, got it labeled all the way down. I used for the bottom where it calls for a rounded, I used a compass. If you don't have a compass, you can use something simple as a piece of sandpaper, the bottom of an ink bucket. It's pretty much anything that's a round. Pun, not round, but round. Okay. Anyway, got it all marked, so let's head on over to the saw and cut this thing up. We got this puppy to use and cut. Now there's nothing more important than to save these right here. These are the windows to your world. And to do that, we need something to protect them. And that's why I wear a face shield, to protect this beautiful face of mine. We wouldn't want anything to happen to this piece of God's masterpiece. Let's get started. Now, with all our cuts made, we've got everything ready to go. I have all my pieces. They're all marked. We've got to go over to the bandsaw and make some more cuts. Safer at the bandsaw. Oh. Let's head over there now. Okay, we're at the bandsaw. We still need our protection for our eyes, and I'm going to put them on in just a second. But we all know that there's important facts around the bandsaw, important things around the bandsaw that you need to keep in mind. One is that your fingers do not need to be anywhere near the blade. This causes you to say, "What happened to my finger?" So we don't want that to happen. Next thing is we need a push stick or something we can use to push the piece through so that our hand is always clear of the blade, because the blade is very dangerous. Let's get started. Let's get started on the back. Right now we're going to cut the point where the roof will go, and then we'll turn it over and we'll cut the round part across the bottom. This is decorative. You can leave it square if you should want to. I have my push stick and I'm ready to go. Normally I run a vac system with my bandsaw to keep the dust down, but because we're videoing, I'm going to forego that today. Now the bottom, the decorative spot. The two side rails and the front rail, I have set up my fence so that I have something to go against to give me a good straight line, keeping my push stick close. Let's cut this puppy. Maybe that's not a good word. Let's cut this board. Fence for the next cut, of which I'm going to cut my 2 inches right there, and then I won't have to set it up but one time. Keeping careful to keep my hands way away from the blade, using my push stick if need be. Well, now with all our pieces cut, we're ready to head over to the workbench and put it together. Come on. I've got all the pieces. All you got to do is walk this away. Well, with all our pieces cut, labeled, and ready to go, let's assemble. I'm going to use a power nailer. It's just as easy to use a regular hammer and nails, glue, anything you would like. And at this point in time, if you want to sand anything, this is the time to do your sanding. You can use a regular belt sander, you could use a handheld sander, and the old-fashioned way, a piece of sandpaper and a block of wood works well anytime you use it. So, let's get started. Let me let you know something. I've never built one of these before. This is my first time too. Okay, let's get started. Let's mount the floor so we can then put the roof on it. We'll start off with the floor piece, which will be attached right above the decorative half moon using wood glue and our power nailer. We will put that piece on. Again, this here is a rough outdoor project. More than likely, we do not need to do a lot of sanding or a lot of pre-finishing or making it really look pretty, because it's going to be out in the rain and the snow, and hopefully it'll last many years by your porch or the back deck. Okay, one. Lining it up real close with the line, or as close as we can. One more. We'll put one in the middle for the fun of it. Okay, we got the floor on. Now then it's time to put the roof on. So let's start with the roof. One piece will go here, like so. One piece will go on the other side. I'm putting the rough side out, but you're welcome to put either one of them. Whatever makes you happy. I'm going to go ahead and cut that roof. It's a 60-degree pitch. With our pieces cut at a 60-degree angle, our two roof pieces, they fit better together. So let's start with this one, which would go right to the top of the eave. We'll need a little glue to help hold that together and keep the rain out. Good bead right there. We'll smear it out a little bit to keep it off the workbench. Safe way to do it. That's what I'm looking for. The safest way. There's one. Move it over a little bit. And this is two. One more makes three. Alright, now then. We're going to need a little bit of glue. Let's put it right here where it's going to meet the other board. And a little bit right here. Alright, so let's put this piece down and let it fall forward till it hits the table. We're all lined up. All we need is a couple of little tacks to hold it in place. We're getting there. All we lack now is the little fence around the bottom. So let's take and glue one rail right here. And I think probably just two will work. We want to sure we get it lined up perfect. We don't want to be spilling any bird seed. One, two, oh heck. We put three in all the rest of them. The other side, smidgen of glue. Keeping myself honest. Lining it up just perfect. Giving myself a little tack right there, there, and there. Alright, one last thing we got to do. And we need to put our front piece on right here. First we need a little glue. A few little brads. Hold it in place. Well, what do you think? Do you think maybe we made it? And here is our finished bird feeder. Ready to go. Birdseed and a little time and some binoculars. I want to see them pretty singing birds. Alright, till we get together again and build something else. Adios. I hope y'all have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.